reaction to last night's game?
It was good. It was good. A hockey game, great tournament all around. Lots of credit goes to the players for putting a good show on, and I think everybody really enjoyed it. You got a lot of the goal was to reach out to more people than the usual hockey fans, and I think that worked. The guys put on a great show, another great game, and I just think it was fitting for it to finish in overtime, and but good for the players.
And what about your two teammates who scored on the U.S. side?
Yeah, that was awesome. I think it was we were talking about it, obviously being Canadian, but win-win for us. I mean, both of our teammates find the back of the net, played real solid hockey, and Canada winning. So I think it was just a fitting night. But no, like I said, both of them playing the way they did, and obviously, like we talked about, you're playing for your country, you're going to leave it out there. But these guys, Sandy and Chucky and even Matti that played in Finland, just the boys went out there and played their best, and it was fun to watch.
What do you anticipate as you resume here tomorrow night? 26 games to go, an opportunity to make the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, it's exciting. I mean, it's going to be a grind for the rest of the season. It's going to be some tight games, some hard games to win, and but like we said all year, it's the position we wanted to put ourselves in, and it's where we want it to be. So, you know what, the break was good for everybody to help heal the bumps and bruises along the way, and hopefully we get some guys back here this weekend for some games, and if not, it's just going back to doing the same thing is playing the game that we played all season that we found success with, and keep going and keep staying positive. Whether you win a game or you lose one, you just focus on the next day, and every game's going to be important.
Do you think you'll have to shake off some rust? You know, it's been 2 weeks.
I mean, you always do. I mean, at the end of the day, it's practicing, and at the end of the day, every team's coming in from the break in the same way. We're playing a team that's been on the break as well. So I think the first period you might see a little rust, but I think we haven't been off for a month either. It's been quite shortly. So I think first skate that we got here, you don't feel too great, and then as the skate went on, I think like today's practice was great. Guys found their legs again. The pace was really good. The execution was really good. So I think that's all you're trying to bring back tomorrow night.
How do you balance obviously being a proud Canadian with the win last night, and then two American teammates coming back very disappointed with the loss?
Yeah. I mean, it's part of the game. I mean, there's unfortunately not everybody can win. So, but no, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, those two guys played a hell of a tournament and scored some big goals last night. And Canada winning, I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, it's disappointing for those guys, but I'm sure if they would have won, they would have came in with a big smile, right? But that's the game of hockey. It is what it is. You can't really do too much about it right now.
Have you talked to them since over text or anything?
No, not really. I mean, I figured last night was going to be an emotional night for them, and I know rolling back to town, so I'm sure I'll get to see them shortly and congratulate them. I mean, I'm telling it to you guys, but I mean, they're the guys that went out there and battled throughout the break. We had the chance to enjoy a nice, easy vacation while they went out there and battled for their country. So all credit goes to them. The boys played some really good hockey, some very intense hockey. So kudos to them.
Can I bug you to repeat that in French?
What?
What was it like having your two teammates represent, but you're also balancing, this Canadian, pride?
Ouais, non, je pense que c'est d'être fier pour eux. Je pense c'est ces gars-là qui sont allés sur la patinoire, qui ont performé, qui ont tout laissé pour leur pays. Fait que non, c'est sûr que pour Bree et Jake, c'est décevant de perdre, mais je pense qu'au bout de la ligne, c'est la game de hockey. C'est pas tout le monde qui va gagner. Il y a toujours un perdant au bout de la ligne. Fait que je pense qu'ils peuvent être quand même très fiers d'eux. Un match pour le trophée hier soir, d'avoir eu la chance de jouer dans un match comme ça avec beaucoup d'émotions. Je pense que tout le crédit va à eux puis aux joueurs entièrement. Je pense aux joueurs de la Suède, de la Finlande qui ont aussi été capables de mettre un show extraordinaire sur la glace.
Do you guys have a group chat?
What?
The team? You guys have a group chat?
Yeah.
You've been a lot going off in there about the recent Canada-US anthem stuff.
Not too bad, honestly. I mean, it's I think all of us were watching. All of us were rooting for the guys that obviously play with us, and you want them to obviously stay healthy and play as best as they can, and they did that last night. And obviously, I think kind of each of us kind of go our separate ways cheering for our countries, but no, there was not much action going on.
C'est la finale que vous vouliez, puis le spectacle que vous vouliez avoir en tant que partisan, là, juste amateur de hockey?
Oui, non, c'est ça. Je pense que c'était le premier match. Il y a tellement de choses qui se sont passées. Fait que de voir ce match-là qui finit en prolongation, je pense que c'est la définition de deux pays extraordinaires avec très, très peu de faiblesses qui font face, qui s'en va jusqu'en prolongation. Je pense que c'est comme j'ai dit, les gars, ils ont donné un spectacle extraordinaire tout le long du tournoi. Oui, Canada, États-Unis, c'était des matchs extraordinaires, mais je pense que c'est les 4 pays en général. Les gars, ils ont eu la chance de performer sur un gros stage comme ça, puis de tout laisser sur la glace pour leur pays. Je pense que le crédit leur revient à eux.
La façon qu'il a joué, c'est juste de croire que Brady va ressortir de là grandi, puis ça va avoir un effet bénéfique, non seulement pour lui, mais pour le vestiaire au complet.
Oui, je pense que oui. Je pense que c'est la game qui joue, c'est le joueur qui est. C'est un joueur d'émotion, c'est un gars qui l'amène, qui laisse toute sa glace soir après soir. Fait que c'était pas surprenant de voir ça. Je pense que c'est un gars de moments comme ça. Puis comme je t'ai dit, quand tu as la chance de porter le logo de ton pays sur ton chest, c'est certain que tu ne feras pas les choses à moitié. Tu vas essayer de tout laisser et laisser le meilleur impact que tu peux.
Tu as porté justement l'uniforme canadien, puis je me demandais, est-ce qu'il faut anticiper peut-être une baisse d'énergie après avoir vécu quelque chose de si émotionnel? Ces gars-là vont survenir ainsi un peu dégonflés pour prendre la saison?
Je te dirais que je pense, peut-être un peu. Je pense qu'au bout de la ligne, on est tous des compétiteurs, on veut gagner. Les gars sont allés là dans le tournoi pour gagner le trophée. Fait que quand ça n'arrive pas, c'est sûr, c'est décevant, mais je pense pas. Un coup que tu reviens dans la chambre, tu sais que la saison n'est pas terminée. Puis surtout pour nous, on a beaucoup à jouer pour. Fait que je pense qu'un coup qu'ils vont revenir dans la chambre puis voir à quel point que les gars, on est fiers d'eux autres, de tout ce qu'ils ont fait, je pense qu'ils vont retrouver l'énergie, ce sera pas long.
Comment c'est excitant justement de recommencer la machine, de repartir contre un rival qui s'appelle le Canadien samedi?
Oui, non, je pense que c'est juste excitant de rejouer. Je pense que c'est le fun, les vacances, puis de se reposer. Mais je pense qu'au bout de la ligne, on sait qu'on est à milieu de la saison, qu'on a une chance de faire les séries. Fait qu'on a juste hâte de retourner sur la glace, puis de performer, puis de gagner le plus de games possible.
En tant qu'équipe, qu'est-ce qui est le point le plus important à améliorer d'ici la fin du calendrier pour vous?
Bien, je pense que c'est sûr qu'on a manqué des joueurs un peu juste avant le break, mais je pense qu'au bout de la ligne, c'est juste de revenir de la façon qu'on joue. C'est avec beaucoup d'énergie, avec beaucoup d'intensité, avec beaucoup de vitesse. Puis quand on fait ça, on s'est donné beaucoup de succès tout au long de la saison. Fait que c'est de revenir sur la même base qu'on avait. Je pense qu'on s'est un peu éloigné de ça dans les derniers matchs en Floride. Puis je pense que c'est juste de retrouver un peu notre... excuse-moi l'anglicisme, mais notre swagger avec la rondelle. On a beaucoup de joueurs de talent, beaucoup de gars qui sont capables de faire des jeux, puis de prendre possession, faire un peu plus de jeux, puis de faire compter un peu plus de buts. Mais je pense qu'au bout de la ligne, si on revient de la même façon qu'on a joué toute la saison, je pense pas qu'on devrait avoir de problème.
How NHL practice is like.
Was it an unexpected call to come up today?
Yeah, no, it was kind of, I was just in Utica, and I kind of just got the opportunity to come and jump on the ice with them, so it was really a good experience for me.
You notice a big difference?
Yeah, no, it's definitely, like I was playing with Timmy and G today, so they made my life a little bit easier, but definitely like a faster pace, skilled guys, so it was definitely a bump up, but I thought it was pretty good overall.
How would you assess your season so far in Belleville?
Yeah, no, I thought it's been good. I think we're just on the climb for the standings a little bit right now. We're kind of in a playoff push here with so many games coming up, but I think the best is ahead, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Going back to that, Timmy and G playing with those two, just what was it like today, learning any tips and tricks from them specifically?
Yeah, no, it was fun. Like I've seen them obviously in main camp a lot, and watched like, a lot of the games over the course of the year. So, yeah, no, it was definitely fun. They're really good at talking, so just got to continue to build my game in Belleville, and hopefully one day I'll get to suit up here in Ottawa.
What did you think of the game last night?
Yeah, no, I got in around 8, so I got just in time for the game. So it was really, really cool to watch Brady and Sandy both score, see how fired up Brady was. It definitely, it was hard to fall asleep after that game, so it was definitely a really cool one to experience.
What's been the biggest challenge that you faced in your first year of Bell?
Yeah, just I played 30 or so games in college, so you play like almost double that here, and you're kind of on the bus a lot and just kind of different spots. Just kind of managing your energy and kind of just be cautious with how you're treating your body and stuff. So I think that's biggest challenge, but Belsey down there has been unbelievable with me, kind of giving me a lot of tips. And then obviously you got all the vets like Peels has been in the league a while. He's been on a playoff run, so he's played until July. So he kind of knows exactly what he needs to do. And my roommate, me and Wyatt have a pretty good like recovery system at our house, so it's pretty cool.
Coach, are you able to let us know what your lineup might look like tomorrow in terms of Brady being back, Josh, and Shane?
Well, Josh Norris and Pintz didn't skate with us today, so I'll speak with our trainers. They skated on their own again. No update there. And I haven't seen Brady yet, so I played last night. Looked good.
You anticipate he'll be ready to go
I
tomorrow?
have not talked to anyone about it at all, so.
What was your reaction to your two players scoring last night?
Happy for them, yeah. It's, as a player playing in that kind of moment, that scenario for your country, very magnified game. The whole hockey world watching, it's can't help but feel happy and proud of your guys when they both scored.
Did you send them a message at all after the game, Jake and Brady?
Yep.
Can you tell us what it said?
Yeah, it's between us, but to be honest, there's nothing that I'm going to say that's going to make them feel better. But I think they knew it, but it's important to let them know that we're proud of them and the way they handled themselves and the way they played.
Group chat?
Sorry?
Does the team have a group chat at all, or anything like that?
Not one that I'm involved with. Players, I'm sure, have their own. The coaches aren't in that one.
Having played in such a big event, do you anticipate like maybe a drop in intensity or a reset for the players when they get back in the action?
The actual players that come back?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think every player is probably different. Every team is in a different spot, so I think it's going to depend on the individual. It's going to depend on where each team is at. I would hope it wouldn't happen in our case. We're getting ready to play some pretty big games.
What do you think's made this team so effective at home? Like your record's one of the best in the league. Like, what do you think's kind of going on there?
Again, I don't worry about it too much. All I know is that we've done pretty well at home so far, and we're going to have to continue it down the stretch.
How much does having the last change impact kind of?
Well, that's definitely part of playing at home. It's an advantage. You try to use it as much as you can, and hopefully you get some matchups, or your top guys get matchups that maybe they don't get on the road, and but you're still trying to match up on the road as well.
Small sample size for Stephen Halliday, obviously only practice, but what do you see from him out there today? And what do you hope to
Yeah,
see?
big body, looked good. Looks like he's taken a step through the first 2/3 of the year. He's got a high level of skill. You can see that in practice today. So it's nice to see him. Nice to see him skate with our group today.
Again, about Kitchuk, what you saw from him, especially in these two games against Canada, was it what you expected from this guy to play at this level and when the stakes aren't as high?
It's not surprising, if that's what you're asking. He's played great hockey for us. There's a reason why you don't get on that team just by accident. He's been a dominating force in the league almost from the time he came in the league, and he played great at the tournament too, and that doesn't surprise me one bit.
What is there about his character that makes him perform at this level when like I said, when the stakes are decided? What makes you think that? Does that make you think that in playoffs it could be the beast we just saw in the last 2 weeks?
I have no doubt that he'd be a great player in the playoffs. I didn't question it before he left, and I definitely, he's proven. He didn't have to prove it to me, that's for sure. But he's, what makes him what he is he wants to win badly, and that's when you want to win bad and you're ultra competitive. You need those two elements if you want to go far in the playoffs.
Just following that. What about Sanderson? A lot of people saw him as actually was not on the original roster, was added at the very
So,
last.
what about, sorry?
Jake Sanderson.
Yeah.
Played pretty well in this high-level game yesterday. What does it say about the quality of players?
Yeah, just that, again, we get to see him every day, and these teams have. It's not easy to make their decisions, but same thing. He's an exceptional player. He's still young. He's still getting better, and that's very exciting for himself, but also exciting for our organization.
You kind of, I guess, have ties to both the teams last night. What did you think about the anthem change at the beginning?
Yeah, I don't put a lot of thought into it. I didn't notice it until someone told me today, and I don't think it's my place to comment on politics, but I'm definitely a proud Canadian.
What would you anticipate? League's been off for 2 weeks. Will tomorrow night, first 20 minutes, be about shaking off the rust, or is there too much at stake?
Yeah, I mean, you can't take away a 2-week break. You try to plan it out as best you can. Your players try to stay in shape over the break, but the one thing about hockey is, skating. When you're off your skates, it affects you a little bit, and it affects. I find every player a little bit different. Some guys can take a week off and feel great the first day on the ice, and some guys take 2, 3, 4 days to feel like they feel normal again. But the fact that you haven't played a game for a while is, you're not going to be as sharp as you were, and you try to mimic it in practice as best you can. But it's hard to mimic game-like time.
Talked about before Nations Cup as being having a very positive impact on the development of the player. But how about Daniel Alfredson, who coach at that level? What can he bring from that experience?
Yeah, I just think much like a player, anytime you put yourself in different situations, it's going to help. Being around different coaches, different coaching staff, hearing different thoughts about the game, I think that only helps a coach. And anytime you can do that, it's going to benefit whether you're Daniel Alfredson or a person that's coached a long, long time. Your knowledge is key, and progressing and trying to always better yourself as a coach is important.
For your team for this last stretch of the season, what would you say is the main thing you need to get better at to give you the best chance?
Again, our game, we have a young team, and we're continuing to push our team to improve. The break was good for our coaches. We got to analyze our game a little bit and think about things. There's certain parts of our game that I'm not necessarily going to divulge publicly, but we're always working on our game, and I've liked how we've progressed so far to this point. But there's certain stages of the season that the game kind of changes in itself, and we're going to see that down the stretch. The competitiveness, the commitment to each game is going to ramp up as we go along, and teams are going to be on top of their own game as well. And we're going to have to take another step.
With Jake and Brady, it looked like a heavy loss for the USA last night. Usually those kinds of losses only come at the end of the season. Do you anticipate having to help them, I guess, rebound after that with such an important stretch ahead?
Yeah, I think there's two ways to look at it. They're going to be upset, and rightfully so. I can't put myself in their shoes. I've lost big games in the past, and it hurts, and sometimes it hurts for a long time, but usually you're not going right back to another team to play, and I think they're both smart guys, and they understand that this was a short tournament and it was going to end one way or the other. But I know they're both guys that really want to win and really want to have success, and are willing to do whatever it takes to get into the playoffs. So I think if I was going to pick a couple guys that I wouldn't worry about having a letdown, it would be these two.